Hello, I'm Artika, and I have abandonment issues. It's not funny. It is not funny. I am extremely uncomfortable right now for the simple fact that I'm being vulnerable. I intend to share this publicly, and a part of me doesn't want to. I have been in one of the most hermitiest phases that I probably ever have been in, and a part of me is enjoying that. But there's a few things that have come up, and the way my third eye whew, was itching, not tingling, I'm talking about itching. As these realizations came through, I figured might want to share, might be time to share, might be time to go ahead and open my mouth back up again. Excuse me. Not really, whatever. I don't know if I said it already, but I do not want to be vulnerable right now. But I'm so going to be. So abandonment. I was laying down, and a few things came. I wasn't laying down the whole time, but I did lay back down with the abandonment part. Bear with me, okay? I don't want to do this, but I feel like I need to. So, a part of me started off feeling like kind of lost. Like I've gotten back to creating and everything, and that feels good. Had a conversation and somebody was like, as long as you're okay, it's cool. And it's like, I don't want to be okay. I said, I don't want to be okay. I want to be great. And then I'm like, I am great. I'm just not feeling it right now. So I started to dig in that, and I'm like, why aren't you feeling it? Few things came up, which led me to abandonment issues, and I'm gonna try to talk through it. So one thing that came up, I asked myself, like, are you afraid to fail? And I was like, nah, not necessarily, because I don't go into things head on. I don't go into things like, yeah, I'm gonna fail so hard. No, you go into when I go into things, especially something new or whatever. In my mind, I'm thinking I got this. I'm capable. Even if I don't know, I can learn. No intentions on failing, but failing does happen, and that's okay. It's a part of the process. So, okay, it's not that. Are you afraid to look crazy? No. These are the questions that I ask myself. Are you afraid to look crazy? No. I do it often, actually. I do it often. I do it often. I understand that perfect isn't a thing. I'm not gonna be perfect. I'll never be perfect. I'm going through life. I'm figuring stuff out. That's what we're all doing. So no, I'm not scared of looking crazy, and I'm not going to intentionally do the wildest thing, but I do wild things, and I'm aware of this. So no, I'm not afraid to look crazy. And if anybody would like an explanation to why I did what I did, ask, and that'll get me to thinking about it. So no, I'm not afraid to look crazy. I'm not necessarily afraid to be vulnerable either. That's a question I just asked myself. I'm not afraid to. I don't feel like everyone deserves my vulnerability, but at the same time, I feel like that's just me protecting myself, because why not just be vulnerable, and those who accept it, and those who don't. It's that simple. Okay. So abandonment. So then we get to I think about I saw it somewhere. I can't recall where. Oh, and the light language is light languaging. Okay. Okay. Um I can't recall where I saw this, but or the exact words, but it says something like, do you start projects and not finish them or whatever? or you probably, something like that. You start things and not finish them out of fear, or that stems from abandonment. When you start things and don't finish it, it stems from abandonment. And I started to think on that. I was like, yo, because I do like seeing things through. I don't feel good when I don't see things through, and I'm my biggest critic. So if I don't see something through, it's not taken lightly. I am going to sit with myself and figure out why. Might not happen in a day. It might, you know what I mean? But it will happen. So there's that. I do like to see things through. I don't like to disappoint. This has come up too. I don't like to disappoint people, but it's really I don't like to disappoint myself. And then the reason why I don't like to disappoint myself is because I do big myself up in my head and everything, and I'm like, you got this. So that's a whole little rabbit hole I'm gonna have to take myself down. Now I understand it's gonna happen. I'm gonna disappoint people and I'm gonna disappoint myself. But I do try my best not to. Back to abandonment. This all it all goes together. So, abandonment. So okay. I continue to sit, and I have thought of times where I didn't know it at the time, but looking back, I felt like I was about to be abandoned, or I was being abandoned, or something was leaving me, or I felt like something was leaving me, and I pulled the trigger first. And I was like, look, fuck it. I'll take myself out of it. Don't worry about it. I'll remove myself. I could literally go back to a few times to where in my mind that's not like that wasn't what somewhere in my mind I was thinking that, but it wasn't at the forefront of my mind. But looking back, that's exactly what I did. That is exactly what I did. And it made me think, like, how long and how many times have you done that? Like, how long have you, or how often do you operate from that abandonment wound? And how do we get it together? How do we get it together? Like, I'm really like, I understand. What's wild is there's a part of me who totally understands that things have a time frame and not everything lasts forever, and people have their own things going on, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, there are times where you're gonna feel abandoned, but is it really that? But yeah, it had me thinking. It really has me thinking, and yeah, it has me thinking about how many times I may have screwed myself over due to fear of being abandoned. Because honestly, yeah, and I have to watch myself with that too. With these realizations, I'm going to allow them to come up and everything, but I have to watch myself, because one of the things that came up that I thought about, and it was like, are you, as far as the environment, because I'm still in the same environment and I'm still not loving it here. I want something new. I want to adventure. That's definitely, you know, I need it. I crave it. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, not sorry, but I ventured off. What was I saying? Okay. I started to see myself in places I'd rather be. Um. So okay, back to I have to watch myself as these realizations come up, because a part of me as I mean I'm digging in. That's really what I'm doing. This is part of the process. And I guess I'm just talking it out right now, which will be shared publicly. The environment that I was, okay, so the environment thing, and I was like, dang, I asked myself, like, are you rejecting your environment because you felt like your environment rejected you? That's not the case here. But there's gonna be moments of that too, to where I revisit some things that I've wanted to leave and why I wanted to leave them. So yeah, don't know where this is going. But I do know that prior to this, with the whole in reference to wanting to thrive and not just be okay, I did ask myself, like, okay, so what is it that you truly like to do? Like, what are the things that fill you up and you can do them and it doesn't take anything from you? Even though, you are working or putting something into it, it's not taking anything from you. And I thought, okay, one thing is creating. Like, I absolutely love creating. And I love to just do, when it comes to creations, this is something that's come up to. I like to just do whatever I want to do. That's one of the reasons why I don't, excuse me, why I don't necessarily do patterns in my creations, because I like to just see what it's going to be. Like, I like to figure it out. Now, there are times that I use patterns for a reason or whatever, but I have this, I have something that I'm working on right now that I'm really proud of, that I just threw myself into. I picked up the knitting needles, and I haven't knitted in years, but I picked up the knitting needles, and I was just like, hey, just go for it. Like, and it's turning into this really beautiful top that I'm in love with. So I love to create, and I like to just throw it in the pot and see what it's gonna be. I do measure and things like that, but yeah, I'm gonna leave that alone. That'll be for another time. I did make mistakes. I think like starting October or something like that, because headspace wasn't right. It wasn't really. So yeah, creating. Love to do that. I love to care for people. That's come up in some interesting ways for me too. I love to care for people. So to be of service, which is all up in my natal charts and things like that. And it's something that, in a sense, I have ran from for a little while. And I think it's because I really needed to care for me. And I really need to, dig into me a bit. But it may be time to step back out. But being of service to others is something that fills me up. And I'm not talking about from an unhealthy spot. I'm not talking about from the people pleasing spot in me. No. Just I understand that I have knowledge and experience and ways to go about things that can assist others. And why not share? A gift is to be given. A gift is to be given. So, oh, there's a rainbow. Damn, this Cancer moon. I am freaking not crying about a rainbow. It's so beautiful, though. Let me show the rainbow. Quit playing. Let's share. Look at it. Okay, this is a great way to end. And I didn't plan any of this, outside of opening my mouth. So again, with the just letting stuff flow. Look at the rainbow.